This week on Q&A, Bloomberg columnist and author Virginia Postrel discusses her new book titled The Power of Glamour.
Hollywood uses political clout to, get what it wants, just the way other industries do. And the big thing that is very controversial today, and that I'm concerned with it on a policy point of view, is the infinite extension of copyrights, which actually affected this book in some ways. And when I was trying to source the photos, Hollywood says we need to have extended copyrights so Mickey Mouse won't go into the public domain. Now, never mind that there are trademarks that also protect certain Disney things, and this locks up our cultural heritage for much longer than it was ever intended to do. I mean, it locks up works that were created under very different copyright rules, much shorter copyrights. Those were adequate incentives at the time. I'm not against copyright, I'm not against intellectual property, but I think it's a balancing act.
Which photo in the book did you have the toughest time getting?
When I say copyrights was a problem, it's actually more about photos I didn't get. So, for example, I really wanted to show some screenshots from a sequence from a 1930 film, Joan Crawford, Clark Gable film called Possessed, where I probably could have made a fair use claim, but Simon & Schuster wouldn't have liked that. So I couldn't get that because they were never released. The scenes I wanted were never released as publicity photos. I have a publicity photo that I licensed from a stock house from the movie, but it's not the photo I wanted. I had some difficulty and also a fair amount of expense getting a photo of Grace Kelly that was originally on the cover of Collier's.
It's the one when she's very young and in the swimming pool?
She's actually in the ocean, but yes, she's coming out of the water. And it was sort of ironic to me that one of the most expensive photos in the book, which I discuss at length, the reason I wanted is there's a lot of information about how it was constructed, it was taken before I was born, of an actress who is dead by a photographer who is dead, and yet it's still not available for reproduction. Now, there are photos in the book that are wonderful, particularly advertising images that are in the public domain, and there were photos I couldn't get for reasons that have nothing to do with copyright.